Hi, this is Brian with redband.com and Let's Find Jesus, and this is the review of the Sony Dash personal internet viewer, or whatever they call it. Pretty much, it's just a really fancy alarm clock. It's got kind of a rubber feel to it. It's nice and skinny, feels good in the hand, so it's good to hold on your lap and stuff. Unfortunately, there's no battery in it. You can only plug it in. This comes undone though. I don't know if you can see this. There's a nice little compartment, so maybe down the line they'll have some kind of battery attachment. On the top is a snooze bar and volume up and down. And it's connected to the internet using Wi-Fi. And it pretty much, as when I first showed it to you, I had a, let me show you. This is like a nighttime mode, so when you're sleeping it's nice and dim, and then when you click on that it takes you to your themes, which is like a widget type thing going on here. It has the clock, it's got any alarms that you have set here, it's got your weather. If you click on the weather, of course it gives you the whole forecast, and you can have multiple forecasts here. To return, you use the menu button at the top. You got, your clock, which is set through the internet, so it's always perfect time. And these are widgets that you download off the internet or on the device, and it's got different kind of widgets. That's a flicker widget. This is an earthquake widget. You can set the time of each widget. So I have the earthquake widget for I think like 10 seconds. Then it will move on to the next widget. The next widget, like woot.com, I have that set for like 5 seconds. I should automatically go to the next one, which, let's see what it is. Facebook, and this is, I believe, my Facebook status updates. So any of my friends, this flips through the status updates, and it's like on a constant cycle. So it will go to Facebook, it will go to Twitter, it will go to, all my different widgets that I choose. It's based on the Chumby operating system, and there's nothing new about Chumby. It's actually been around for a while, and it's kind of, there's tons of widgets and applications you download, and it's kind of like a phone, like a cell phone. You download what you want and customize everything how you want it. Now, there's also some built-in applications, and you kind of flip through these here. You got different themes, you got different videos stuff. Like as an example, for video, you got like Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, Blip. Let's just kind of go to my Netflix. And it's kind of cool because since there's a headphone jack on the side and a USB jack, you can USB jack's used for like hooking up thumb drives and photos and stuff. But anyways, since there's a headphone jack on the side, you could pretty much lay in bed, and this would be like a little kind of like TV in bed. So yeah, so the video quality is great. There's actually speakers built into this, so and they're not bad for an alarm clock. Let's play something real quick. Turn up the volume a little. See. Now you also have audio stuff, like one of my favorites is Pandora, and Slacker Radio. So you don't really have like a real radio. It doesn't have a real radio built into it. It's got internet radio only. But that's kind of cool. You can wake up to Pandora and stuff like that. There's no way to really surf the internet, but it seems like a lot of websites, including Engadget, has their own little widgets, and there's also widgets that you can put in RSS feeds, so pretty much you could put anything with an RSS feed onto your desktop. Now, the negatives and the positives I've found from that is that, here's an example of the alarm system, by the way, and you have all these different alarm tones. Really loud, too. This one's just birds, which I thought was kind of cool. You just kind of wake up to birds chirping. You also have wave, kind of like a ocean waves. It's kind of nice to wake up that way. You got custom alarms. This is a quick alarm. You can have, you know, a bunch of different alarms, time and date, weather, you know, add different cities to your weather, whatnot. Some negatives I didn't like, when I'm laying in bed and it's on this mode, it's very distracting and very bright. So you always kind of have to, if you're ever in that mode, kind of go to the main menu and go to the, I guess, sleep mode, which is nice and dim and a little bit better. Another thing you got to watch out for, especially if you start loading things like Flickr and Facebook and your Gmail and stuff, you got to remember that everyone is going to be able to see that. So unfortunately, you know, you're laying in bed with your girlfriend or something like that, and your Flickr or your stuff pops up and there's another girl on your nightstand. It's just not the most comfortable thing. You know, so you kind of got to watch out for it. At first, you know, I'm thinking like, yeah, I could check my email on my alarm clock. But then you're like, yeah, but do you want everybody checking your email on the alarm clock? It's also got a lot of cool apps. Like this is a traffic app. You know, and I found the apps very, you know, there's pretty much an app for anything you want. I thought that the app selection was great. You could also go into the apps, you know, if you want to get like into a bigger screen of the apps. It also, you know, on some apps it flips so you can turn it around, kind of like an iPhone. Some applications work better than others when it comes to that. The other thing I didn't like how there was no battery, but I talked about, you know, hopefully they do add some kind of battery adapter, because it would be nice to be able to sit, you know, on the couch or something like that if you're watching a Netflix video or something, and you use it kind of like a tablet PC or something. Now, it is not as smart as like an iPad or anything like that, and there's a couple things that make no sense about the menu selection. As an example, it comes with two different themes right now. We're actually looking at the app view, and then there's this dashboard one, and it downloads the theme every time you switch it. So it's not, the theme's not saved on here, which I thought was kind of weird. I guess they're constantly tweaking themes, maybe, or stuff. But yeah, that's one good thing though, is right when I got it, they automatically already had a bunch of updates. So it seems like Sony is updating this thing all the time. It's not the most responsive thing, but it's definitely better than a lot of the reviews are saying. I've heard a lot of people saying that it's not that responsive. I'm having no problems with the touch screen or anything like that. It took a while to learn everything, and that comes to my final thing that I wasn't too happy about, is just the software system and how everything's laid out. I thought is just a little bit confusing, more confusing than it should be, a little bit more clunky, I guess, especially adding apps to your channels. You know, so like as an example, when you add Netflix, you have to use a regular laptop and go on to Netflix's website and activate this. And there's a lot of things like that. So you're going to have a computer handy when you first set this thing up. So that's one thing I wish you didn't need. I don't like how you have to use a computer to set items up. But whatever. So the negatives, the battery, not having a battery, having to use a laptop to set this up, and lastly, the screen brightness on the main screen is pretty bright, and so you always have to I always catch myself going down to the night mode. And yes, there is a screen brightness, and I have mine turned off, or turned very, very low. So, but I love it. I think it's great. The price is a little high, but if you're looking for an alarm system that's always giving you the weather and the time exactly, and it's got great, you know, Pandora music, it's connected to the internet, I think this is a great, neat device. It's a great picture frame. The resolution of the screen looks great, and all these little applications I just consider extra to just a great alarm clock. It's set up really nice, and there's a lot of options for the actual alarm clock and stuff like that. So yeah, I recommend it. I don't recommend it over an iPad or anything like that, but I recommend it as a great alarm clock with a lot of extra options. This is Brian with redband.com. Let's Find Jesus on YouTube. Thank you for watching.
The roof is on fire.